So, um, I was doing a reading for one of my good friends. I kept trying to do this reading last night, probably did it 5 or 6 times, and I kept falling asleep. I kept falling asleep. I kept falling asleep. I was like, stay awake. Your friend is going through some shit. Stay awake so you can finish this reading and get it to him. And I couldn't. I I I could not finish the reading to save my life. So I got up this morning and I sent him a text and I was like, I am so sorry. And I said, but the strangest thing, I said, I got up this morning after, because I've been fasting and praying, like praying and praying and praying and praying and trying to figure out what I'm supposed to do because I feel like I've just been stuck in my life. And so I sent him a message of what I had been hearing, and that was maybe, and it was maybe because he was not supposed to get the message that was going to come last night because he would not have, it would not have resonated at that time. When I woke up this morning, I had a completely different mindset. It was just like everything that I had thought completely changed. Like, I felt like a completely different person this morning when I woke up. So I sent him a message and he told me, I told him all the things that I'd felt and what I was hearing, and what I had told him was I'd heard God say, why are you fighting so hard? It's okay. You can lay your gloves down now. It's time to finally lay your gloves down. That you have fought so hard and have not slept for days to the point where you have been fighting and fighting and fighting and fighting because you're so stubborn, because you want what you want and you don't want to stop until you get it, because that's the way that you've been all your life. And God knows who you are. God knows who you, the personality type that you have. And based upon you, he knows the way that you're going to respond to things and the way that he has to allow things to happen in your life so that you can come to a place where you're supposed to be, so that you can come to where you can get the clarity and the judgment and the mindset of the person that you're becoming, because you can't stay stagnant. I told him, I said, it's just like when we're children and we have a toy that we broke and we take it to our father and we're like, Dad, I broke this, can you fix it? And so we give that toy to our dad, and a lot of times a child won't 100% let go of the toy, or they won't just lay it down and trust their dad or their father or God themselves to take that toy and fix it and make it the way it's supposed to be. We want to hold on to it. We want to grip tight, like I want you to fix this, but I don't want to let go of it because I love it so much. I love it. I love it. I love it. And so we get in the mindset that we don't want to 100% let it go. And for the stubborn hearts that are watching this right now, sometimes God lets you fight, even though he's told you to lay it down and to let it go and to trust him. He knows that you're not 100% gonna listen because you're afraid. Maybe because of the things that have happened in your past. You're so afraid to just let go and take that risk, to jump off the cliff and find your wings. You're afraid because all of the things that have came up in your past have hurt you, or you don't want to lose the thing that you have because you love it so much and you're so afraid to lose it. But then God will let you, he knows that you've got to fight for it until the point where you can't fight no more. And to the point where you've been up for days, you've cried and you've prayed and you've tried to seek what is his will for your life, to the point where you fall asleep. When you fall asleep, God can finally have his angels take the gloves off of your hands and put them on themselves. And while you're sleeping, the angels will be fighting for you, because while you're asleep, while you're at peace, when you finally found that rest that you've needed because you fought for so long and so hard that you just can't do it anymore, that he's going to have the angels take the gloves off your hands, and he's going to have the angels fight the battle for you, so that when you wake up in the morning, you have a whole new outlook, because you changed, because you finally let it go. When you finally let it go, then they can fix it fully and give it back to you the way that it was supposed to be, the way that you were supposed to see it. And sometimes that is so hard for the ones that have been hurt in their past so much. Like, you're so afraid to trust anybody because you see your past. You've seen what's happened, and you are so afraid to lose that little bit of control in you, because you're so afraid if you don't have a little bit of control, if you don't have a little bit of say in it, that you are so vulnerable that you can be hurt. But, God's telling us we have to lay it down. We have to trust. It's only when we fully trust in him and fully trust in God that he is going to 100% take care of it and fix it for us. Now, we pulled these cards and we had discussed, and in the middle of it, like, I was shaking and I was having goosebumps, and he said it hit him right on too. So I was like, well, I kind of want to record this to see how it goes. So I went ahead and I brought my cards in here and laid them down on this table. And there's my geekiness. So my geekiness was like, it's having me look at everything else too. So I'm going to go ahead and show you guys all of this. And hopefully, if you're still listening, hopefully if you are seeing this, that God and the spirits show you exactly what you need to see in this. Because, I don't think I've ever done a reading for someone else that it hit me so hard. So, anyways, getting into this, I'm going to get in, read this, and I'm going to show you what we pulled so far, and I'm going to show you my geekiness that hit me. So, anyways, all right, we'll get into it. In the past, you wanted to start a new beginning. Here's you thinking about stepping out. You're kind of like, but you're clinging on to something. Even though you're trying to step out, you're still got a hold. You're still grounded, and you're still like kind of shaking when you're stepping out this door, and you're trying to figure out whether you should do it or not. But because you're so stubborn, and there could have been so much fear in your life, instead, you doubted yourself. And so what did you do? Instead of stepping forward with someone new, you went backwards. You didn't take the step forward. You went back to your past. There were no struggles or challenges back there, because there was so much love. But in the past, there was no material or spiritual prosperity. You had none of that. You had none of that with this past person, probably because you had obstacles and challenges that could never let you move forward. Because when you call up to God, you could never move forward because it wasn't right. And God sent you something that you were supposed to see. You were supposed to see this shooting star. You were supposed to see your wish. You were supposed to wish upon this, and you were supposed to step out, and you were supposed to take that leap of faith. But more than likely, you were so stubborn that you didn't. You just stayed. You stayed where you were. Or you went back to someone who was in your past, and you went back to your ex because there was no struggles and no hardships. But you got to understand too, every single relationship that you have, there's going to be struggles, there's going to be challenges and obstacles, and sometimes you're going to be scared, and you're not going to want to take this accelerated motion to move your life forward. You're going to want to just stand there and stop and just be like, no, I'm not doing nothing. I'm just going to stay here. Whether you do it as a sign of good or whether you do it as a sign of bad, you either stay there or you step back thinking, if I step back, I won't hurt somebody else that I love. If I step back, I won't get hurt either. It will save both of us if I just step back. But God's not calling you to step back. You can't go back into the past. You have got to move forward. You've got to keep going. And He's telling you that until you do that, you're not going to find what you need to find. Because once what's coming for you, what's in your future, that's where the love is. That's where your love is going to begin. Look, this is a pouring in of water. Hopefully you can see this. This is not one hand pouring into this cup. It's two. It's two hands pouring into this life water. And these two people, they have to be balanced. They can't come together and pour into this evenly until they found the peace and they found their balance. Once they find their balance, they have the ability to pour into this beautiful flowing water. Once the two people come, they can pour into this. And God's telling us right here with this rainbow, that's His promise. Hold on. Hey, I'm doing something right now. Come back in a few minutes. I was supposed to be picked up already. Okay, go get him, please. What? Hold on, Michael. Sorry about that. This is the rainbow. This is two that have to come together in unity as one. This is that rainbow, but this is your future. This is you stepping out. But here, you may have been having to wait because those roots are just taking ground, and your tree is starting to bloom. It's not a full tree yet. It's not ready. It wasn't ready in the past, but with the time, the roots grow here. Within time, that's when you'll start to see the prosperity, when you have trust, when you have faith. Okay, what the angels are trying to tell you. You're about to find your awareness. You're about to see the whole big picture. You're about to see all of it. There's your other one. You're going to see there's going to be, you may not have all the material harvest that you were hoping for to put two houses together. You could be scared, but God's calling you to have faith, to put the two houses together. And when you do that, you're going to have perfect harmony. You will find the harmony with someone. And this person is going to be nurturing and loving. Because in the past, what it is that you had in the past was someone who wasn't loving, who wasn't caring for you. They weren't gentle with you. They weren't like a mother when you coddle your child. And maybe in the past you needed that, but you didn't have it. You didn't have the love and everything that you needed. You flip it around for your future and you find this love, these hands that are going to hold you. You find the person that you've been looking for. It's been right, the person that's going to be here in your heart. It's right here. You're going to come together as a three. You, your person, and God. It takes a strand of three to be strong enough to not break from the world. In the past, it was the emotional loss that you had felt. You'd been so heartbroken. But when you step to your future, what do you see? It can flip around, and it goes from the emotional, it goes from the emotional pain into, oh my God, I love this person. This might be the one. Your past, you just felt heartbroken. I don't know if you can see your past, you felt heartbroken. But when you step forward, you feel the love. You stop thinking with your head and you start thinking with your heart. Where are you going to find that? See this? This book? I never noticed it before this morning. This book has all these radiant lights shooting out of it. This wisdom is coming from God himself. See this patch? Obviously he's a monk. Obviously he's God. The book has got to be the Bible. The number 5 means change. That's what's going to happen. So when you're finally going to find your happiness that you're walking towards. When you listen here to this book, to God, there's your sun right behind it, and you can go towards it. You can go towards your happiness. The card that I pulled here, stop trying to skip the effing struggle. Keeping it positive won't insulate you from having emotions and needing to evolve. You're not going to spiritual your way out of hitting the next layer of wounds to heal. So many of us make the mistake of thinking we will arrive and that will be that with the life lessons and shit. Personal growth is more like peeling an onion than like climbing a mountain. It gets stinkier and stinkier and you cry more, but everything gets juicier the deeper you go. The true spiritual badass don't pretend like their onions don't stink. You're being divinely guided, divinely led. Spirit is the great, what you don't see on here says Spirit is the great conductor. I am giving my cues. There is no need for haste. There is no place in me for impatience, delays, and detours to my limited vision are actually the perfect path unfolding to a higher I. That is the symphony of life, but divinely led. I am blessed by the guidance of Spirit in many forms. I open my heart and my mind to the influence of higher forces. I relinquish my definition of myself as small and limited. I invite guidance and inspiration. I welcome new thoughts and perceptions, larger perspectives, and possibilities. All right. Let me pull a card here. This card shows up every single time that I do the reading for the person that I was talking to earlier when I decided I was going to go ahead and film this. Angel of determination. This is us being stubborn. God's telling us he knows we're stubborn. He's not calling us to not be stubborn anymore, but he's just wanting us to see, to trust in him while we're being stubborn, to see that there's an angel watching above us, to know that he already knows our path. He knows the way that we are going to move, and he has sent an angel to watch over us, so that when we take our path in our stubborn selves, he will be there to guide us, to help us, to love us. It doesn't matter when. To go ahead and keep walking this path that we've been going, because we're going to a higher level of consciousness. Let's see. All right. Okay, let's see see if we got a card from here. One or two real quick. All right. What are we not seeing? We're not seeing the beauty. Which is funny, because I have a cup. You don't see that rose until you drink so much of the drink that you're drinking that you see the beauty behind it, underneath it, what you don't see. That's what God's telling you. You're not seeing the beauty that he set before you, because he had to cover it from you, because you were not ready to find it yet. You were not ready to see it yet. All right, angel, spirit, God. Anything else? Love. That beauty that you were searching for is the love that you want. It's the love that you have been manifesting. It's the love that you have been praying for. It's the one that bound you two together. Anything else? Going forward, there's not going to be any chaos. The chaos is done. He's taking care of it. You're safe. It's not going to be forbidden anymore. You don't have to stop. He's telling you right now, go ahead. Move forward with whatever it is that you're doing, and listen to him. He's telling you it's okay now. Okay, so when I came in here to move my stuff, my nerdy geekiness turned my thinking around. All right, so I was gonna box these up. These are on my table, which is old man Logan Wolverine. I had got this because it reminded me of my person and me. There's my bright red hair right there. So, if you don't know who this is, it's Jean Grey and Dark Phoenix. Okay, what was funny was when he put these two side by side, she's taller than he is. But here he is. He's got his claws all out, being like, ah. And here she is. And if you don't know anything about this story of the X-Men, he loves her. She loves him. But there comes a time, the Phoenix, I don't know if anybody know what the Phoenix is. The Phoenix is when you transform as a person, the Phoenix will rise out of the ashes, out of the crumbling, all of the falling down. And she's going to transform into someone completely different. She goes from Jean Grey to the Dark Phoenix. So she goes from who she was into something that she's supposed to be, because she's hitting her transformation. Now, if you know anything about the story of Wolverine, who loves her and how much she loves him, she has the ability to destroy all the worlds and completely annihilate anything. But there's going to come a time where Wolverine's going to step to her and she's going to explode, and everything around her is going to be completely annihilated, completely destroyed. Wolverine survived. Why did Wolverine survive? She has the ability to kill everybody and everything, but yet he lived. He somehow made it through. And how? They say she loved him so much that she controlled her power. She held back on him because she loved him so much she could not see him completely hurt. Now, he got hurt. He had many scratches and he was hurt really bad. This is for anybody who reads comic books. He was hurt, but he lived. And he only lived because she loved him so much. And he was ready to risk everything, and he's going to step out. Well, he still loves her, but she's still transforming. And it doesn't mean that she doesn't love him. She has to go through this to be what she is meant to be, so that they can accomplish everything that they were meant to in life. So when it came time, she held back. She knew she had to hold back because she was afraid that if she didn't hold back from him, she would kill the thing that she loved. Whether he knew that she loved him or not, she did. If she didn't love him, he probably wouldn't be alive, because she took out so many other people. Because look, both her hands are in flames, like twin flames, which is also the sign of a phoenix. The phoenix is the twin flame sign. I also was like, oh, okay, well, I started reading my comic books like the cards. There was going to come a time where there was a battle, and a woman, she spoke stuff she probably shouldn't have said because it was the heat of an argument. Here's Superman. This is all of us when we've been fighting for so long. We've been fighting so hard that it comes to a point where we can't fight no more, and we have to give up, and we've got to trust. We have to trust in ourselves. We have to trust in our spirits. We have to trust in our partner, because the things of the past, the people in the past that are watching us, they want to see us fail. They're excited about it. They want to see someone fail. But the weird thing is with God, is when you lay down these gloves, which, if you train fighting, you don't ever want to put your gloves down because you're going to be in trouble. So if that's what you've learned in life, the fighting, what you know in fighting is what you're going to continue. But God is calling you to see something different. God's telling you He's in the ring with you. And if you lay these down and stop fighting, He's going to take care of you. He's going to win this. He's going to win this round for you. You're going to be the victorious. He's going to take these chains that you have, if you listen during this fight, what you're bound on, He's going to take these and He's going to remove these from you. Wolfman. So if you feel like you're bound, if you feel like you're stuck, God's telling you it's okay. He's coming. He's got his tank. He's coming. He's going to come and he's going to make everything right. He's going to help you. He's going to be there for you. Shazam, Batman. There may have been a fight. Your claws may be out. You may have lost a hand. Kind of like the Phoenix. She had the ability to take body parts from anybody and everything because she could completely just take everything off of you. But it's telling you to enter in the age of the apocalypse. It doesn't matter how hurt you've been. God's telling you to have faith and step through. Even if you've only got 3 claws left instead of your 6 to fight with. If you've only got 3 left, God's telling you he's going to be there. He's going to be the one above you who's going to be there to help take care of you. When the two come together, they can win the battle. When they separate, it gets bad. So stop letting other people hold you back. Someone could be there telling you, no, don't do this, don't do this, don't do this, don't do this. But you have to keep moving forward with that fierceness of the Wolverine. You've got to keep moving forward. Because God himself, who has the ability to snap a finger and take everyone out of here, he's what's there. And even though you don't technically want to be on the side of Thanos, in the realm of us, you kind of want God on your side. So he's telling you, you're going to have to die to the past, to the old ways of who you were. There's John Gray. When she does die, and then she comes back, so don't worry. So she will get her second chance at everything, but she dies here right when after she fell in love with Wolverine. She fell in love with Wolverine, and then she died. In other words, usually the death card means the beginning of something new and something beautiful. And you're going to manifest your destiny. And you're going to look different. But there's that person there still holding your hand. Even through all the changes, they're still there. They never gave up. Doesn't matter what it looks like in your point of view, because you can only see the view from your side. When you look at their point of view, you may see something different. So that's when God's telling you to keep fighting with the power of the 3. It's not until you step out and you take a risk, that leap of faith, and have trust that even if you do have end up on separate teams, or if you don't end up together, that everything will be okay. Because maybe someone else is shedding the clothing of their past, and you've got to trust that. Maybe there was towers. Maybe there was a tower moment that your person is talking to one of her friends about. Here you are holding your phone. Just like playing on your phone. Like, I'm going to see what's going on here. Maybe you're checking up on somebody that you love. Maybe you feel bound to the wheelchair. But don't worry, you've got all of this fighting around you. That's your angels and your demons fighting for you. There may be battles that come, but that's what happens at any point in life. You've got to fight for it. If you love it, you got to fight for it. You got to work for it. Every single thing in your life is calling you to figure out what battles are important, because everybody in this life is going to hurt you, but they're not all going to hurt you the same. So you want to find the person who's worth the pain, who's worth stepping out and fighting for. Sometimes we're not always fighting for bad. Sometimes we're fighting for each other. And when you see with a completely different perspective, it's going to cut through all the bullshit. And you're going to see your world differently. And you're going to stand with your team, with your family, with all that you love. You're going to stand together. You're not settling, looking back to the past. You're moving forward to this big world, to somewhere else that you aren't right now. You might be moving somewhere because where you are now, it's not okay. Well, it probably is okay where you are now. But why settle? Why settle with just like, when you can have the whole world? Because X marks your spot. That's where you're supposed to go. This is God telling you, this is your one. So listen to God, the Messiah, because He's on your team. And He'll be there to help you fight against the foes that are coming against you. When you find your partner at the day of wrath, you may not be able to help them. You may not be able to help each other because you both may be bound somewhere. And even though something's attacking, you have to have trust and you have to have faith that your partner will do right, no matter where they are, no matter how things are going. Listen to the twos. You come together as a two, as a partner. And it's not going to be until you find this in yourself, you find the rage, that you break the chains, because only you can break the chains of your bondage. Because divided we don't stand. We only stand when we're in unity. When that happens, we're going to step out in all of our glory. We're going to be whole again. We're going to have both of our hands. We're not just going to have the 3 claws. We're going to have all of it. We've got our angels and our friends that might spark something in us. But we have to look forward. We can't look back. The battle is not behind you. The battle is before you. You have got to look forward.